Have you ever found yourself sitting alone, staring into the distance, and wondering, why do I feel like this? Why do I feel stuck? You're working hard, you're ticking all the boxes, yet there's a sense of emptiness, like you're running on a treadmill, going nowhere. You're not alone in this feeling. In fact, being stuck is one of the most common experiences in modern life. It can be overwhelming, frustrating, and deeply confusing. But here's the good news. Feeling stuck isn't a sign that you've failed. It's a signal that something in your life needs to change. And the solutions? They've been hiding in plain sight for thousands of years. Ancient philosophers like the Stoics and Buddhists didn't have Instagram, corporate ladders, or endless to-do lists. But they did understand human struggles, doubt, fear, inertia, and the quest for meaning. Their wisdom is timeless. And today, we're going to explore how it can help you break free. By the end of this episode, you'll not only understand why you feel stuck, but you'll also discover powerful, practical tools to start moving forward. Tools that have been proven for centuries. So let's unravel the mystery. Why do we feel stuck? And how can ancient wisdom guide us to freedom? The trap of stagnation. Let's begin with a question. What does being stuck actually mean? It often feels like you're trapped in a cycle. You're doing the same things, day in and day out, but the results, they're either stagnant or disappointing. It's like planting seeds and waiting for them to grow, but no matter how much you water them, nothing happens. Why does this happen? Often, it boils down to one word: overwhelm. Think about it. In today's world, we're bombarded with endless choices, responsibilities, and distractions. Social media shows us a highlight reel of everyone's best moments, making us question our own progress. And then there's fear. Fear of failure, fear of making the wrong choice, fear of letting others down. This fear becomes paralyzing. And so we stay stuck, not because we're incapable, but because we're afraid to take the next step. Stoicism, the art of focusing on what you can control. Now let's turn to the Stoics, who had a powerful remedy for this kind of overwhelm. One of their core teachings is called the dichotomy of control. It's simple, yet life-changing. Here's how it works. Divide the world into two categories. 1. Things you can control. 2. Things you can't control. Let's use an example. Say you're stuck in a toxic work environment. You can't control how your boss behaves. You can't control office politics. But you can control how you respond. You can control your attitude, your boundaries, and your efforts to look for a better job. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, put it best. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When you focus only on what you can control, you free up your energy. You stop wasting time on things that are out of your hands. So here's an action step. Write down one thing in your life that's been stressing you out. Then ask yourself, is this within my control? If it's not, let it go. Buddhist wisdom, letting go of attachments. Now let's dive into another profound philosophy, Buddhism. The Buddha taught that much of our suffering comes from attachment. But what does that mean in practical terms? Imagine this. You've been holding on to a vision of your ideal life. The perfect job, the perfect partner, the perfect home. But what happens when life doesn't match your expectations? You feel frustrated, disappointed, stuck. Buddhism teaches us to release these rigid attachments, not to stop dreaming, but to embrace flexibility. Here's a relatable story. A young monk once asked his teacher, "What's the secret to happiness?" The teacher held up a glass of water and said, "This glass is already broken. When it falls, I won't be upset." The lesson? Enjoy what you have, but don't cling to it. Because nothing in life is permanent. Take a moment to reflect. What's one attachment in your life that's keeping you stuck? The power of small steps. When we feel stuck, it's often because we're looking at the whole mountain. We think about the final goal, losing 50 pounds, starting a business, writing a novel, and it feels impossible. The Stoics had a simple solution: break it down. Seneca, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, said, "Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life." What does this mean for you? Focus on today. Take one small step. If your goal is to get healthy, don't start with an intense workout plan. Start with a 10-minute walk. If you want to start a business, don't try to build it overnight. Start by writing down your ideas. These small steps build momentum. And once you have momentum, progress becomes easier. Here's an exercise. Write down the smallest possible action you can take toward your goal today. Then, do it. Comparison, the thief of joy. Now let's address one of the biggest modern-day traps, comparison. Have you ever scrolled through social media and thought, everyone's ahead of me? It's exhausting, isn't it? But here's the truth. Social media is an illusion. It's a curated version of reality, not the whole picture. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic, said it perfectly. Don't waste time worrying about what others are doing. Be satisfied with doing what you need to do. Imagine you're running a race. If you keep looking at the other runners, you'll lose focus and slow down. The same is true in life. Stay in your lane. Celebrate your progress. Finding purpose. The Japanese ikigai. One of the most powerful ways to get unstuck is to reconnect with your purpose. In Japanese culture, there's a concept called ikigai, your reason for being. It's the sweet spot where 4 things intersect. 1, what you love. 2, what you're good at. 3, what the world needs. 4, what you can be paid for. Finding your ikigai doesn't happen overnight. It's a process of self-discovery. Here's an action step. Take a piece of paper and draw 4 circles. Write down your passions, skills, and ways you can serve others. See where they overlap. Your ikigai doesn't have to be grand. It can be as simple as teaching, creating, or helping others in small but meaningful ways. Mindfulness and the present moment. Finally, let's talk about the present moment. Feeling stuck often comes from living in the past or worrying about the future. Mindfulness brings us back to now. Epictetus said, "Hold fast to what is in front of you. The rest is beyond your control." Here's a simple mindfulness exercise. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Focus on your breath going in and out. This practice, even for a few minutes a day, can quiet the noise in your mind and help you move forward with clarity. Feeling stuck is not a failure. It's a wake-up call. A chance to reflect, refocus, and realign your life. From the wisdom of the Stoics and Buddhists to the practical steps of ikigai and mindfulness, the tools to break free are already within your reach. So, here's my challenge to you. Choose one idea from this episode, just one, and take action today. If this resonated with you, subscribe to this channel for more insights. And comment below, what's one area of your life where you feel stuck? And what step will you take to move forward? Thank you for listening. Remember, you have the power to create a life of purpose, clarity, and freedom.